The main reason why a poor person can never become wealthy is because of their mentality. Successful rich people tend to have an entirely different mentality than poor people. The rich often play the game of money better than the poor, and that is the major reason why the rich are rich and the poor are poor. Hi, welcome back to Grayson Finance. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about things that poor people do that you should avoid doing. Number 1. The poor think they know about everything. More often than not, whenever poor people encounter some problems, they blame almost everything present on earth except themselves. They complain about the problem and then blame it on someone else. In handling their money, they often prefer to not get educated about money management and stick to just following what is right in their opinion. These kinds of people, whenever they engage in an argument about something, more often than not, just try so hard to prove that they are right because they never like to be wrong. They don't like learning about money management from someone else or a book because they think they are always right. With this stubborn attitude, you will never grow not just financially, but in life in general. Stop acting like a know-it-all and start learning instead. Start with yourself. Reflect and find your faults. When you see them, learn how to fix them. Number 2. Poor people strictly play on defense. The game of money, just like other games, has offense and defense. If you play this game solely doing defense, there is a slim chance of you winning or even none at all. This way of doing the game, however, is not uncommon for poor people. The problem with these kinds of people is that they never persevere to be on top or to win. Instead, they want to play safe and focus on not losing. Their goal is to just pay the monthly bills and buy the monthly necessities and not actually become financially rich. With this strategy in the game of money, you will never move forward from where you are. There are some people, however, that are entirely slightly better than the kind of people who are playing safe. These slightly better people have at least savings amounting to 10% of their income and invest these savings in the stock market and hope they get good money in return. They do this so that they can rely on something financially when they get old. While that is not too bad, it's not so good either. You see, until the time that they are already old, they will be stuck with a small paycheck. With limited financial freedom, they can only stay where they are and not be able to move forward in their journey to wealth accumulation. That's why, in order to become rich, stop playing safe on the defense, start playing offense, and move towards a bigger goal. Number 3. People work hard to get money. You might think that the statement shouldn't be in here since hard work really should be done in order to get your money. For most people, the only way to make more money is to get promoted. In order to get promoted, they work so hard, get overtime frequently, or even get additional jobs. Now, some of you might think that there is nothing wrong with that method. But in reality, no matter how much you work hard and get paid, your time is only a limited resource. Rich people understand well that time is limited. That is why, instead of working hard for money, they make their money work for them. They have a completely different view of money. They don't see it as just something to use to buy stuff, but rather as a useful tool to generate more income. At first, you can work for money, but it is not suggested that you work for the rest of your life for it. In order to achieve freedom, you should be able to find a way to make your money work for you and not the other way around. Number 4. The poor do not value freedom. Financial freedom makes you live a life where you're capable of doing whatever you want. You will often hear some life lessons from people saying that money is the root of all evil, or somewhere along the lines of, don't make your life revolve around money. Ironically, more often than not, the same people who gave these life lessons find themselves working hard for the rest of their life, from morning until night, just for them to earn a few amount of money. While excessive indulging in money is bad for you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you getting more and more money. Always remember that money is freedom. If you see money from a negative perspective, saying that it is the root of all evil, then you will never be able to attract money in your life. That means you can only stay poor. Number 5. The poor only pay attention to the obstacles. A lot of times, people are hindered to start any investment or business venture because they're afraid of what's going to happen to them while they pursue it. For example, someone had been planning to open a restaurant for years now, but up until today, they haven't made any move because they say that they don't have money and they don't want to be buried in debt. The problem with that mentality is that you will never be able to start and move from where you are now if you only pay attention to the possible obstacles ahead of you. Instead of brainstorming for ways they can do to get money in order for them to finally open the restaurant, they choose to dwell on an obstacle that hasn't even happened yet. In relation to this, having no prepared plan only means that this person is bound to fail. You need to understand that no matter what business you're trying to start up, there will always be an obstacle accompanying it. Never dwell on what-if questions or scenarios. This will make you unable to start anything. If you want to start that business now, make a plan on how to do it to avoid obstacles. That way, you are less likely to be afraid of facing said obstacles. Number 6. The poor choose to be paid based on their time. At the end of the day, what matters most is not how much time you have spent on work, but the value you deliver. You can work harder than the highest paid employee in your company, but you can never have a salary higher than them, because what they do is more valuable than what you do. That is why, in order to get more money, don't work hard for long hours. Increase your value instead. Number 7. The poor don't like the rich. For some reason, a lot of poor people have baseless hate headed toward rich and successful people. They spend so much time hating and being jealous that they cannot focus on their financial position instead. If you are one of these kinds of people, instead of hating them, why don't you try joining them? That way, you can experience the life that they have too. And lastly, at number 8, the poor manage their money incorrectly. Money management skills are not an inborn skill. Knowing how to make money is one, but knowing how to manage the money you earned is another. A lot of people think that managing money means restricting their freedom in life. They always want to be free and not worry about a budget or a second thought before buying something. This is entirely incorrect. If you're unable to manage your money correctly, you can never achieve true financial freedom. The ones you have experienced so far in buying your unnecessary purchase are not real freedom. A lot of people often get mistaken that you will need to have a lot of money to manage it. But in reality, no matter the amount of money, there's a correct and incorrect way of handling the money you have. If you can't handle little money, then how can you ever handle big money correctly? The consequence of having a poor mentality is having no money. It is the reason why a poor person is still poor. If you have some of the negative mentality mentioned, don't worry. Since it's not the end of the world for you, you can still change your mentality. The path to improving your mentality, however, is not instant. You will get better one step at a time in terms of financial decisions, and you will start looking at things differently. Instead of being overall negative about an opportunity, you will start taking advantage of an opportunity if it presents itself to you. Ultimately, if you got over your negative mentality, you will be able to achieve success financially. Thanks so much for watching! If you like this video, make sure to press like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep you posted on new helpful videos.